This is Nathan Stanford Sr. from CodeCraft Hub, helping others learn to code. This is the ColdFusion Simple Blog, episode 4. Okay, so with this episode 4, we're going to look at the index and Application.cfc and actually see if we can get some more work done. So if I go to the URL and I hit refresh, there's nothing here but this debug information, and it's great. You do need the debug information, but we're going to, for now, we're going to make a change and turn it off. We can always turn it back on. So all you have to do, and I'm going to zoom in a little so make sure everybody can see the code that I'm typing. So we're going to do CF setting show debug output false, save it. We'll go back here to the browser, hit refresh, and now it's a blank page. So let's close that. So what we're going to do next is we're going to do some tests, but right before we do, I want to go to Application.cfc. Remember, we made the data source simple blog. So if I come back here and I simply say that I want to do cfquery name test data source equals simple blog, and then I do cfquery, and I simply select all from users. So this is going to get all of the users. Then I want to see, well, what am I getting back? You can do a thing called cfdump, and you can do var equals with 2 hashes and the word test. So now we have this, so we can actually see, we know we only input one user the other day when I was first building this. So now we have one user. So this lets us know this is working. So I'm going to say without no data source. So if the data source is already defined inside of the Application.cfc like this, then it's ready to go. So if you have that there, you don't have to have that here. So it's going to say no data source, and it's going to still have the one user. So that's great. Okay, so now we know that we can do that. Let's create a folder called queries. Now I'm doing this the way I would do things old school. We can talk about doing things a different way in the future, but for beginners, let's take this query. We're going to cut it out. Let's go ahead and delete the no database, and now we're going to say query folder. I'll just say query folder, query folder. There we go. So in there we're going to say index, and we're going to say query underscore users.cfm. Then I'm going to paste that in here, and I'm going to change test to be query underscore users. The exact same name as the file, except without the .cfm. It will help you remember things. So now if you need to reuse this query somewhere else, you can just import it. And the way you import it is you simply say cf include template dot this file queries this file you're looking for. So let's save that. Let's go see what happens. So we got nothing back because this is named test. So we do query, like the name of the file, users, save. We go back here, we hit refresh. Now we have it back again, coming from the query folder. So now we have this at the top. We know the users is coming in. I will just simply delete the the dump because we don't really need it. But what we could do now is we could start to build our page. So built in to VS Code is Emmet that helps you with your coding. And if not, you can go to the user snippets like I showed before and put HTML5 boilerplate into your VS Code snippets. Because my Emmet doesn't work, because I have so many extensions, some of them are obviously causing a problem with it, or maybe some new extensions have taken over their commands. If I type doc, I can see this is the HTML5 boilerplate, and I believe this is one of my user snippets. So tab, now that's in here. I would type in the name of the application, but let's do this instead. Let's go like this. We're going to say CF output. Anytime you're outputting data, you have to have it inside of a CF output. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to say ending the CF output. And there's a reason I'm doing it here and not down here at the bottom of this. So these could actually go back over. I try to tab by 2 spaces in case I end up doing a lot of tabbing over. I don't want to run out of spaces. So let's go to Application.cfm. We're going to say we want this application title to be CF Simple Blog. So now we've got that there. So you can just simply copy that, come back here, and in here, put 2 hash, put this between, and then you could say, let's say you do it here. You say this application, and you say this is a sample, this is a sample blog, simple blog. This is a simple CF simple blog. So now it's going to put this in the top where you bookmark. This is going to be the top text, and then this is going to be in the paragraph. So if we come back here and we hit refresh, we have it in there. And if you see up here, we have it up here. So now let's go get something I have here, Bootstrap. We're going to go get Bootstrap, and we're going to copy that. We are going to put that right here at the top. Whoops. It's hard using different keyboards. The one I used during the day for work is a completely different keyboard, different computer. So let me go get the other. Copy this clipboard. And normally you put this one, this first one is CSS. So if you look right here, whoops, went too far over. If you look here, it's Bootstrap CSS, and it's minified. That's what the min is for, meaning it got rid of all the spaces and everything, so that would take up the least amount of space in your memory on your when it downloads to each of the different people that are using it onto their browser. And then this one is for JavaScript. So if I scroll over a little, you can see this is the JavaScript bundle for Bootstrap, and it's been minified as well. So we can simply come over here and say, okay, when we save, one of the problems is normally you would put JavaScript down here by the body, the ending of the body, because you would want it to run after all the HTML has ran. Instead, just type defer, and that will make it wait until all the HTML has ran before it runs the okay, hold on. I obviously got the head moved over. And if you look here in front of script, see how it's white? That means there's some other problem. I might cut and paste these again because there's something wrong. So I don't want to even go. So let's copy this. Go back here. That one seems to be fine. That's one nice thing about having the color coding. It helps you sometimes catch an error before you actually have to even run the page. So I copied it again, and now we're going to paste it here. And it's still white. I'm not sure what's going on there, but defer. Let's hit save. Let's go find out. Okay, so now that we've got those installed and set up, when we go back here, we go here, we hit refresh, you can see the font changed and the spacing changed. So I'm just going to close Bootstrap for now, and we are going to continue to come along here. What I'm going to do is in here, no, let's do it in here. I'm going to say cf set request. Now, request variable is every time you hit a page, the request variable will show up. And I'm going to say we're going to put in the page title, kind of like we did with the application title. And we're going to just simply say this is for the home page. And I guess I could do uppercase, capital case. So now I've got the page title set. I'm going to copy this. Now, what I tend to like to do is put the home page, the page title on the left, and then put a bar. Let's see here. I'm not used to. Let's just put a dash for right now. And see if I can find where the bar is, because I like it a little better. I'm not used to this keyboard. There it is. Nope. Up there. Yes, there we go. So the reason I do it this way, I will show you why here in just a second. So let me hit save. We will go here and we will hit refresh. Now if you look up here, well, there's one more thing I need to do. I also want this not here. That's not the place I want that. I want this up here in the title, which is right here. Save. And that's where I really want it. And the reason why is because when you go to bookmark something, see how it says home and then it says CF sample blog on the right? If you bookmark 2 or 3 different places on the website, you can see which website it came from, and on the left, which in case the website name gets real long, you'd be able to see whatever pages you were on. If the website was long and the page that you're on was on the right, then it would be so far over to the right you may not be able to see it in your bookmarks at all. I don't need a bookmark to that, but I just wanted to kind of show you why I'm doing what I'm doing. Okay, so now we have that. The thing is we want to do dry. Don't repeat yourself. So how do we do that? Let's create this again, talking to new programmers, beginners. We're going to create an includes folder. And in here, we're going to create a header. We're going to create a footer. We're going to create a nav bar. Now, you may or may not always want that in here, or you may want to have multiple nav bars for different things and different reasons and different people or whatever. So let's go back here. So we already know for right now the footer can just be that. So let's just paste that in here. Then let's take the rest of this for now and put it in here. The thing is I really don't want this to show up on every page. So I'm going to delete that, come back here, and we will do CF output, and we will close the output by doing that. So now we still have this. We could have left it there if we wanted that to stay as our header, and we might do some changes down the road. So what we need first, CF include, and let's get rid of this extra less than, and then we want to do from this local drive, we want to go into includes, hit the right forward slash, and then pick header. Now I'm going to just copy that, paste it, and change this to foot. So now we have the header and the footer, and we can come back here. Here, let's add the word test. Sometimes I like to do that because when I'm watching people's videos, sometimes I'm like, yeah, but when you hit refresh, everything just came back the way it was, and I'm not 100% sure I understood what was going on. So we're going to includes header. So includes template header. Let's go back to header. Queries from header. Oh, let's take that out for now. That probably threw an error. So let's go back here, turn this back on, and now you can see the test. Now, if I put it back and I change this to true, now I haven't checked my application admin, but let's just find out. So here you can see that the page ran, and you can see there's no query in here at all. So it did not find this. If I wanted it to find it from here, I would have to do 2 dots. Then let's see. Yeah, see, it goes to queries. You can see that right here. So 2 dots would mean go up a level, then go down into queries. So now if I hit refresh and scroll up, you see that's all there. So let's get rid of the word test from here. And for now, we will leave this like that. Okay, so we've got the start of a page, a web page for a beginner. So what do we want to do first? Well, I do like Bootstrap, and I've used it quite a bit. So first thing I want to do is let's do div class container, and then we want to end the container, and then we want let's just put this in here, and let's tab it over, highlight it, and hit the tab, and then let's save. Now I'm going to put something here so you know this is the page you're seeing when I hit refresh. So you can see that that's there. And let's get rid of this, and let's get rid of this. So now we have simple blog. It's kind of over here in the middle. I don't usually use it this way. The main reason I don't is because you lose all this real estate. And when you're on a web page, you want as much real estate as you can get. So if you do container fluid, and I like to keep this lowercase, fluid, you watch, it'll jump right back over to the left, all the way to the left. Okay, I don't want it to be all the way to the left. If you go study Bootstrap, and if you want, I can create videos on Bootstrap, but this is Bootstrap 5. So in Bootstrap 5, if I want some margin on the outside, padding is on the inside of the div, I want some margin on the outside of the div, I say M for margin. And in Bootstrap 5, instead of left and right, you have start and end, because some languages start from the right and go to the left, and so start would start on the right instead of on the left. So we're going to do start, and we're going to say, let's do 3. And let's see how far over that moves it. Well, something I did, or did it? It scrolled over on me. Let's make it. Let's get rid of it for a second. Okay. Now let's refresh. See, it's over there. Margin didn't really do a whole lot. So what I'm thinking of doing, since margin didn't do what I wanted, I'll do padding start, and we'll just say 4. I'll even make it wider. We'll come back here and we'll say refresh. It moved over a little, It's probably enough. It's probably a good place for a logo. So, but let's compare margin start and paragraphs and padding start. So if I just change that and I hit refresh, it does seem to move over, but remember, it's because it's now putting the margin to the left, not the padding.